Howdy, hi. This is Deer Job Sports College Basketball Picks and Predictions for Wednesday, January 7th, 2026. We're looking at the best bets of the day. Let's get into the video. All right, first thing we got to do, recap previous day's results. Not a good day for me as I go 2-4, bringing our season record to 239 wins, 189 losses. We add $8 to the giveaway fund. That total is now 120 schmackaroos. We do add someone to the banned list. George Washington, I've taken them 2 times this year. They lost outright at home as a 22.5 point favorite. And then they have a 5-point lead at Dayton at halftime. They lose by 9. They don't cover the 3.5. Actually, no, they lost by 7, I think. I know they didn't cover the 3.5. I forget it was 7 or 9. This team sucks. I don't like them. All right, I will recap these games real quick. Then we'll get on to the 8 picks we have for tomorrow. First game, Syracuse laying 2.5 at Georgia Tech. This was never a doubt. Syracuse wins 82-72. They had a 14-point halftime lead. Georgia Tech tried to make it a game. I think they cut it to 6 points, I want to say, with about 5 minutes left. But Syracuse, they pull it out. 43% from the field, 37% from deep. They win the rebound battle by 10. They lose the turnover battle, but it doesn't really matter because Georgia Tech can't shoot. 39% from the field, 22% from deep. Georgia Tech, no good. And then you have Oklahoma State laying 3.5 at home. They win outright 87-76. UCF, you are not going to be ranked at the start of next week. It was a good run you had. Congratulations on beating Kansas. But that's about all you're going to get. Big 12, hitting the road, good home environments. Thank you to Oklahoma State for getting it done. All right, now you have the ridiculousness of Michigan almost losing outright to Penn State. We laid 22.5. They only won by 2. I'm really not sure what Mike Rhodes was thinking on that final play call. Penn State had the ball, like 9 seconds left. Actually, I think longer. 15 seconds left on the shot clock. They call a timeout. They proceed to just dribble it at the top of the key and then take a fadeaway three-pointer out of a timeout for the final shot of the game. Like, I understand if you want to shoot a 3 at the end to either win it outright or lose, but you got to design something so you're at least open and not just have a one-on-one three-pointer step-back fadeaway. Makes no sense. Hated the play call. Michigan wins 74-72. Michigan played like ass. 46% from the field, 30% from deep. They lose the rebound battle. They lose the offensive rebound battle by 7. And they lose the turnover battle. Horrible day. Elliot Cadeau, no good, 3 of 8. Lendenberg, he played, didn't play well. Their center, Ade Marta, the 7-footer, he sucks. He's no good. Just not a good day to be Michigan. Then I laid another number. We laid 21.5 with Akron. That did not work out. Akron 82, Central Michigan at 69. Akron, again, whenever I take them, they just don't play well. They fouled way too much. Free throw difference here. Central Michigan shot 27 free throws. Akron shot 9. 57% from the floor for the Zips, 40% from deep. They win the rebound battle. They lose the turnover battle. Akron had 19 turnovers at home. That is very not like Akron. I don't know what they were doing, but it was not good. And then finally, George Washington plus 3.5. I watched this entire game. They were good in the first half. They did not utilize their best players. I mean, you have arguably one of the best players in the entire conference in Rafael Castro. He shot the ball 5 times. Not to mention, the entire George Washington team needs to be investigated for free throw shooting. They shot 12 of 60 from the charity stripe. Meanwhile, Dayton, 27 of 30 from the free throw line. That is 90% as a team. George Washington turned it over 22 times. This just comes down to coaching. You know what you're going to get with the University of Dayton. They have a good defense. They're going to press you off of a made shot or off of a timeout. How do you not prepare for that? Every single time down the court, George Washington's press break was have one dude dribble it, nobody come running to the ball, and then 3 dudes standing past half court and 1 dude standing at half court. That is not how you break a press. You had a week to prepare for this game. You know what you're getting when you're going to the University of Dayton. This was a shit coaching job. George Washington, you're banned. All right, that is how I go 2-4. We now get on to the picks for tomorrow. All right, we're going to start the day off back in the A10, even after watching George Washington blow the lead. It was a really good game. I do like A10 play, so I'm going to take 2 games to start it off. First one, St. Louis on the road at VCU. I'm going to bet against the Siegel Center. Give me St. Louis plus 1.5. Give me the over 168.5. This is probably the largest game in A10 play so far. St. Louis going to look to be an outright bid this year for March Madness. VCU could potentially still be an outright. They have some losses in the non-con, but none of them are that detrimental that I think would hold them out of contention if they had a really good A10 play. I like the St. Louis roster. I like their coach. They have Ravi Avila down low. I love big Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. He's a beast, so I will take them. The Billikens, they're 13-1 on the year. Their only loss came to Stanford on a neutral site by 1 point where they lost in a buzzer beater. Veteran team, they score 95 points a game, played a top 50 pace, 53% from the field. This team loves the three-point ball. They make 11 a game, 39% clip. Really like their head coach, John Schertz. If you remember, this is still, I think 2 starters from this team came from that Indiana State roster 2 years ago that should have gotten an outright bid to March, but they did not because the committee is full of a bunch of idiots. The only concerning thing here, this is their second true road game of the year, and it's at one of the toughest environments in the A10, but I think they can get it done. VCU, 11-4 on the year, 2-0 in A10 play. They beat St. Bonaventure by 7 at home, then they beat Duquesne by 13 on the road. 87 points a game, played a top 125 pace, 48% from the field. The home court's going to be rocking. This is the first year of head coach Phil Martelli. I'm not sure if he's that good. Normally VCU defense is legit. This year it has not been. I will fade him. Give me St. Louis. All right, now the next bet, my favorite bet of the day. We're going to lock another team in the A10. First name of George. This time, last name Mason. I'm going to lay 5.5 with them at Fordham. I think Fordham is horrible. George Mason is good. That is about all I need to know. Fordham, they are 0-2 in conference play already. Their non-con schedule was really easy. They did not play a single Power 4 in their entire non-con, and they played almost all home games. First year under their head coach, Magpio, came over West Coast. Where was he at? San Diego or something? Somewhere on the West Coast. I don't think he's any good. George Mason, 14-1 on the year. Their one loss came on the road to Virginia Tech by 11 points. 2-0 in A10 play. They beat LaSalle on the road by 5. Then Rhode Island at home by 11. This is an old team. They start all upperclassmen. 79 points a game. Bottom 75 pace. Solid at not turning it over. Defense, top 75. The stats don't look that fantastic. They played a really good non-con schedule. Fordham boosted their stats. Fordham, 9-6 on the year, 0-2 in A10 play. They lost to Dayton by 7, Richmond by 8 at home. Like I said, first year under head coach Magpio. They played 3 Division II schools in non-con, 0 Power 4s, and they're still 9-6. This team is ass. Give me George Mason. Next game, we're going to continue to bet UNCG. I don't know why they're getting this disrespected. Why is Wofford laying 5.5 points to anyone in the SoCon? This makes no sense. Wofford has beaten 2 of the easiest teams in this conference, and neither of them have been that convincing. UNCG, 6-9 on the year, 2-0 in Southern Conference play. They beat Chattanooga, the Mocs, by 5, Samford by 7. They started the year off rough with basically a completely new roster, but more recently, they have won 5 out of their last 6 games. Very small backcourt. Both of their point guard and shooting guard under 6'1". In a normal conference, that would be bad. In the SoCon, you can get away with that. Their front court is still big. They score 79 points a game, played a top 125 pace, shoot at 46% from the field. Neither team is good on defense. We should see a decent amount of points here. Wofford, 10-0 on the year, 2-0 in SoCon play. They beat West Carolina University by only 5 points, and then the Citadel by 9. Those are two of the worst teams. They score 77 a game, played a bottom 100 pace, 43% from the field. They start 3 underclassmen, 1 freshman, 2 sophomores, 2 juniors, 0 starting seniors in the starting 5 lineup. That is not good. I will take UNCG. All right, I'm going to speed these up because this is taking too long. Next game, give me Baylor at home, catching 5.5 points to Iowa State. Yes, Iowa State is good, but at the end of the day, this is Big 12 play. This is Iowa State's second true road game of the year. The previous one, they beat the tar out of Purdue. I don't think they're going to win back-to-back road games. I like Baylor plus 5.5. I like them on the shmoney line. Iowa State 14-0 on the year. Their non-con was semi-decent. They either played a good team or they played an absolute cupcake. There was no real in-between. Their stats look great. 90 a game, 53% from the field. This is an old team. They're good in the front court. They're good in the back court with Lipsy. You know what you're getting from Osselberger. They're good. They'll make it to March Madness, and then they will choke. Baylor, 10-3 on the year, 0-1 in conference play, despite signing a 7-foot NBA dude. Really didn't want to take Baylor early on with the NBA guy, but I'm going to do it. They score 93 a game, top 75 pace. With Najee down low, the dude's a beast. He is a physical specimen. He's like Jalen Duren, but older and bigger, and now he's back in college. It makes no sense. I will take Baylor. I think they win outright. Next game, Sun Belt. I'm going to take Arkansas State at home. Majority of the stats here are going to tell you to bet Troy. I am not going to bet Troy. They're 3-0 in Sun Belt play, beating Marshall by 7, Texas State by 20, South Alabama by 10. This is their first road game in Sun Belt play. 86 points a game, top 110 pace, 45% from the field. Very high 3-point variance with this team. If they're going in, they're going to win majority of their games. If they are not going in, they can lose to anyone. Ark State also 10-5 on the year, 2-1 in the Sun Belt. Wins Texas State by 19, Southern Miss by 7. They are coming off of a 4-point home loss to James Madison. I like this as a bounce back spot. Jonesboro will be rocking, always been a good home court. Give me Arkansas State minus 2.5. All right, if you have been watching the channel for a while, you know I cannot pass up an Alabama over, especially when they're now on the road at Vandy. Give me the over, 177.5. I can easily see both teams getting in the 90s. That would send this game way over the number. Both of these teams play at some of the fastest paces in college basketball. They love the three-pointer. Alabama doesn't play defense, and it doesn't matter who they go against. They are going to put ball in hoop. So I will take the over. Bama, 11-3 on the year, coming off of an 89-74 home win over Big Blue Nation. They scored 94 a game, top 10 pace, 47% from the field, 13 three-pointers a game, top 25 in rebounding. I mean, they're every single thing you could want. They are the definition of a run-and-gun team. They get rebound, run down court, shoot three-pointer, run back on defense, and then it just rinse and repeat. Defense, 230th in the nation. They simply don't care about it. Vandy, 14-0 on the year. They just beat South Carolina by 12 on the road. I think that was 83-71 final score. Could be a little off on that. 93 a game, top 60 pace, 51% from the field, 11 three-pointers a game. This team is good. I like them. Give me the over. All right, then final game. Then we got the almost bets. I'm going to take the Blue Jays catching 6.5 on the road at Nova. Obviously, they lost against Seton Hall. They probably should have won that game outright. I like this team. I like McDermott as a coach. I do not think they're going to drop 2 road games on the East in a row. Calling for the money line on a 6.5-point road dog against a Nova team who is undefeated in conference play is a little bold, but I definitely think they take 6.5. This was almost my favorite bet of the day. I just like George Mason a wee bit more, but I will take Creighton plus 6.5. I will also sprinkle the money line. Creighton 9-6 on the year, 3-1 Big East play, 78 points a game, bottom 125 pace, 46% from the field. Looking at all the stats, they're pretty even with Nova, and then Coach McDermott. He has a really good history playing at Villanova. Whether he's been through a majority of Nova coaches, he's been good against all of them. I like this team. I think they can win this game. Nova 12-2 on the year. Their losses: first game of the year, BYU by 5. Then they got railed, Michigan by 28. They've been impressive. Year 1 in Willard, coming over from Maryland. They're due for a loss. They were down 3 at halftime to Butler. Somehow they had a miracle comeback and won by 18. They've been too hot. It is time for regression. I think they lose. All right, then the almost bets. Back to the SoCon. Chattanooga is catching a 1.5 against Furman. Yes, Chattanooga has been severely depressing to start their conference play. I like them, though. The Mocs have a decent team, good home court. Furman's not good enough to be laying 1.5 points there. Next one, Stanford heads east for I think the first time this year. I will take the Hokies laying 5.5 points. They're good, especially at home. I do not like when West Coast teams come east. That's about the entire angle. Next one, Miami, plus 100 at Wake Forest. I don't think Wake Forest should be a home favorite to majority of teams in the ACC. I think Wake is ass. So I will take Miami plus 100. All right, that's going to do it for me in this video. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace.